Jagex has just dropped the Day 3 leak for Leagues VI, and there's an overlooked change in there that I think tells us a lot about a big change in expected progression for this league. So today's reveal is this league's Slayer Relic. This time around, it's called Culling Spree, and so let's just take a look at what this relic does. When you are assigned a Slayer task, you will be able to choose from 3 different options. You will also be able to choose how many you wish to slay. Also, where possible, at least one of the choices will be a boss Slayer task, which is very, very nice. I feel like a lot of the Slayer that gets done within a league is trying to get tasks for various Slayer bosses. Additionally, you gain the following bonuses while on a Slayer task. Upon slaying a superior Slayer monster, there is a 50% chance that another one will spawn. Superior Slayer creatures will always drop 1 to 3 elite clue scrolls. You will gain all the effects of a Slayer helmet without needing to wear one. You can purchase any of the Slayer reward store perks for free, and also rune pouches, herb sacks, and looting bags will be purchasable for free from the Slayer reward store. This is a very, very unique take on the Slayer Relic for a league. This type of relic has been around in some form since the inception of OSRS leagues, and it changes around every single league. I think that this has some really fun perks to it this time around. The 50% chance to spawn an additional superior creature is really, really fun, which, by the way, all players unlock increased superior spawn rates as a passive effect for the tier 3 of relics. So superiors will spawn at a 1 in 50 chance, and then if you have this relic and you're on task, then half the time you kill a superior Slayer creature, another one will spawn. And I'm assuming that this can chain into multiple spawns, so you might slay a superior creature and then another one appears, you slay that one, and then a third one could appear. I'm really wondering who is going to get like a crazy chain of like a dozen superiors all spawning in a row. I think one of the best perks about this particular relic is that you gain all the effects of a Slayer helmet without needing to wear one whenever you're on task. This is similar but very, very notably different than last league's relic, Slayer Master from Raging Echoes, which had the effect of always being on task for all eligible monsters. The effect of Culling Spree is different than that, and you might think that it's less convenient because you actually need to acquire the specific task that you want, but there are some great benefits to always having the effect of a Slayer helmet without needing to wear one. The first really noteworthy one is that you don't need the Mauritania region to obtain a Slayer mask to get that extra accuracy and strength bonus that a Slayer helm provides. This is very big because last league, if you wanted the black mask effect, you were forced to take Mauritania. Whereas this time around, it doesn't matter what regions you take, as long as you have this relic and you're on task, you will have the effect of a black mask, whether or not you've actually obtained one. And the fact that you don't need to be wearing a Slayer helmet means that you can take advantage of set effects. We all start in Varlamore this league, so we will all have access to Perilous Moon's armor, which if you are required to wear a Slayer helmet means you can't get the set effect of those. But with this relic, you can be on task, have the benefits of a Slayer helmet, and take advantage of set effects. This also applies to Barrow's armor, so think about how crazy it's going to be to have a full set of Darok's armor with the black mask, additional damage and accuracy. I think people are going to be able to hit some crazy big numbers with that combo. Now, I have to say, I am a little bit confused about the Slayer creatures always dropping elite clue scrolls. I mean, don't get me wrong, more clue scrolls is always a good thing in a league. There are always tasks associated with completing certain numbers of clue scrolls or getting a certain number of uniques from them. But why elite clue scrolls specifically? I'm gonna expose myself a little bit here. I'm the person that always takes the Clue Scroll Relic option over the Slayer Relic option for my main playthrough, so I'm never hurting for Clue Scrolls in any capacity. So if you're a person that has taken the Slayer Relic more, can you let me know in the comments if this point makes sense to you? Are you always hurting for specifically elite Clue Scrolls? Because in my mind, it would make more sense for this to share the effect from the original Trailblazer League. That league had a relic called Unnatural Selection, which increased the chance of superior slayers and made superior slayers always drop a clue scroll if they were able to. So that meant that if that superior normally dropped a hard clue, it was guaranteed to drop that. If it normally dropped a medium clue, it was guaranteed to drop that. Meaning you could kind of target farm specific clue scrolls by killing certain monsters. Versus this time around, you'll only ever get elite clue scrolls from the superior creatures. At least guaranteed elite clue scrolls. I'm assuming that they still have a chance to drop a clue scroll of a different tier if they were normally able to. But yeah, I don't know. That specific point is just making me a little bit confused. And so if you have an opinion about this, please, please, please let me know in the comments. Now, at the beginning of the video, I alluded to today's reveal, telling us a little bit more about progression in this league than you might see on the surface. So let's take a look at that really quick. Here is the currently revealed relics and what tiers they go into. And you'll see here today's relic, Culling Spree, is in the tier 6 slot. This is super noteworthy because in the previous two leagues, Trailblazer Reloaded and Raging Echoes, the Slayer Relic was in the tier 5 slot. So they have pushed it up an entire tier. I think this is very noteworthy because there is usually a very large point difference between some of these later relic tiers. So as an example, in the Raging Echoes League, tier 5 required 5,000 league points, whereas tier 6 required 8,000, a 3,000 point difference. What this means is you will be getting your Slayer Relic a lot later into your league progression. And we can infer one other thing from this. This is an educated guess, and so it is not guaranteed, but historically, the Clue Scroll Relic has always been against the Slayer Relic. Now, it is possible that they are mixing that up this time around and you won't have to choose between a Slayer Relic and a Clue Scroll Relic, but assuming they stick to that formula, that also means that the Clue Scroll Relic will be in tier 6 instead of tier 5, which again just means that you will be doing Clue Scrolls league efficient style later on in your progression. I'm not necessarily saying this is a bad thing or something to worry about, but it is something to keep in your mind. There are still a lot of secrets to be revealed, a lot of relics that they need to show us, and so it's way too early on to start freaking out about some big change here. And I just think that this mixing up of progression is generally a good thing. I think it'll help keep the league fresh, mix up some of the metas surrounding when you do certain things or when you start focusing on certain things. So overall, I am not worried about it, but it is noteworthy to talk about. I know the Slayer relics are incredibly popular every single league, and so if you are the type of person who has taken one in leagues past, it's always going to be a thing that you start comparing this league's version to the Slayer relic from previous leagues. And again, I think this one has some very, very nice buffs to it. The one thing I think people are going to look at this one and say, oh, it's not as good as leagues past, is the fact that you cannot just cancel tasks willy-nilly. Both Bloodthirsty and Slayer Master from Trailblazer Reloaded and Raging Echoes respectively had the ability to just cancel or skip or block tasks completely for free, whereas this one, it seems like you are going to have to do a task every single time you get one. I don't know if this is going to make too much of a difference. You still have a lot of freedom when choosing tasks. Being presented with 3 different options every time you take one probably means that you'll be able to choose a task that you like every single time. And even if you just want to burn through tasks really quickly because you're hunting a specific task, you can always just choose to slay the lowest possible amount of every single creature. But this does dig into one of the metas from the previous 2 leagues where you could just continuously kill the same creature over and over and over again. You probably won't have that ability to do that here with Culling Spree. Overall, I think this is a good relic. I think that if you are the person who has traditionally taken the Slayer Relic, if you take this, you are not going to be disappointed. You're still going to be able to do tasks efficiently. You're going to be able to hunt Slayer drops and kill Slayer bosses much more efficiently than somebody who doesn't take this relic. As I stated earlier, I am a clue scroll fanatic, and so I am holding my breath to see if this Slayer Relic again competes with the clue scroll one, and depending on what that clue scroll relic is, I'm likely to take that over Culling Spree. But again, that is just me. If you are a different type of person and you like the Slayer relics, please let me know in the comments what you think about this year's version. Are you excited about it? Are there things you like? Are there things you wish they had done differently? Now that is all for today's reveal. I did want to talk about one more thing. There was a lot of discussion on my first video about the Knapsack, which you get from Barbarian Gathering, and how exactly it worked to withdraw items from it. Now there has been clarification on the functionality of this, and this is again posted in the official Leagues Discord. And so they have confirmed a few things about the Knapsack. First of all, it can be emptied at a bank. I know there was some confusion because in the trailer video they showed, they listed the right click options and it didn't look like there was actually a way to remove items from it. So a few people were confused about whether or not you could actually get your resources out of it ever. However, they did also clarify the point that you cannot remove items from it unless you are at the bank. So anywhere else in the world, you are able to delete items from it, but you cannot withdraw from it. So that really solidifies the notion that the Knapsack is just a storage option, which allows you to stay at gathering spots longer, but not some form of extended inventory. It is just to store items, which you can then ferry off to the bank and empty it there. And that is going to do it for the day 3 reveals. Please, in the comments down below, let me know what you think about today's reveal. Leave me any questions you have down below, and I might be able to help out with clarification that I see from the JMods on the Discord channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving it a like. Also, if you want, you can subscribe to this channel. I'll be doing an update on the League reveals every single day, so if you want to stay up to date on those, subscribe and turn on notifications for this channel. That's all for today. I will see all of you tomorrow.